Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's another day, another TGR Nation Grand V race here for Season 3 of the Championship. We're at Summit Point for this one here in the grand old US of A. A 2-mile circuit that will host the next round of the Championship with 29 cars that look to be taking it to the grid tonight. My name is Adam Reed. It doesn't look like Alexa Marshall will be alongside me this one as they are celebrating their birthday. So happy birthday. Happy birthday, Alexa. It'll be Jim Cunningham in production and co-commentary. So, Jim, welcome in. It's good to have you. And, of course, it's going to be a super fine race tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We got, looks like we got 30 cars here today. I'm not going to lie, kind of a surprising turnout for Summit Point. Not one of your, what you consider one of the most popular tracks or anything on iRacing. So to get 30 cars turn out, that's a phenomenal turnout, and yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. It's going to be. I like Summit Point though. It's a fun track to drive. Actually, I think it's great for these V's as well.
Indeed, these Formula V's will be absolutely fantastic throughout this 2-mile circuit. It's very, very narrow as well, so it will take a lot of drivers to commit some pretty ballsy moves. Of course, we do have that long straight on towards turn number 1, but for the rest of the circuit, it is very, very narrow, very, very difficult. So I think for a lot of these drivers, they may have this as take this a few sighters around here to really get up to speed. So I think it's going to be definitely one of those races that may end up just being a slow burner, it seems like, I believe. And of course, we're already seeing some of the top drivers at the top of the standings of Zach Rattray White and Gianni Lutzu at the top two, the only two drivers in the 125.9s at the minute, with Sadiq with Sully Khan in P3. But you're also seeing some of the action here in the early stages of practice as the drivers look to negotiate this fantastic circuit. And Christian Flagg, also the American, goes up to P3. We enter that final minute of practice.
Yeah, we've got seems like we've got most of the the big name drivers here tonight. I noticed that we do not have our resident IndyCar driver this week. I was really looking forward to us butchering that whole thing again and missing out on the fact that we have a professional IRL driver with us. But yeah, that was quite funny last week for those of you that were here to witness that. And welcome to anybody that's going to join us in the chat today. Feel free to come on to YouTube and chat with us. We'll be glad to answer any questions or have some fun, especially as they pick on us in chat like they were last week.
Well, we don't have a James L. Foster at all on the grid to kind of butcher, so I think they will save their bullying comments for another day. I feel, as it looks like we all tick down to those 40 minutes, and then of course the grid will disappear before going into the 10 minutes of qualifying, or I believe it is 3 laps. So the drivers are now, I feel, very in fine tune with Summit Point. Again, it's always a difficult circuit to kind of get around because you're seeing some of the elevation changes, especially from the chute on towards the carousel and then on towards the S's. It's such a difficult circuit. You're seeing the map there on the top right. You see there at the north kind of point of the circuit. That's kind of what I'm talking about as we now see our first driver heading out onto the circuit. So they've had 40 minutes to practice, kind of fine-tune their setup. Now they will look to get the momentum going in these Formula V cars. They again look to just warm up those tires, get the temperatures, get the temperature on the brakes as well. Remember, there's not a lot of aero in these race cars. You're really having to focus on momentum. So the more momentum you can have, and the more you can kind of have the confidence to lean on the tires, lean on the car's chassis, I think you'll find the kind of confidence will grow. And drivers do kind of attend these races at their different kinds of pace. You just need to kind of look through a qualifying session to realize the time between the top and the bottom, which is usually a couple seconds. But yeah, of course, we know how fast Zach Rattray, White, and Giovanni Lutzu and so many more others are. But I think just around this circuit, yes, it is 2 miles, but it is going to be a pretty packed grid, as we've been kind of dawdling about with knowing that there's 30 cars on this grid. There's going to be a lot of changes all throughout this race, and a lot of kind of survival instincts are going to have to be in peak top shape.
Yeah, I think again, it's a nice size circuit. It's not very wide, but it's plenty wide enough for these Vs. I mean, it'd be a different story if you were running sports cars around here or something like that. But yeah, these things, I think it's like I said, every race I've done, I think almost every race I've done here has either probably been in like a V or maybe like a Toyota GR86 or something like that. But this is a momentum track for sure as we watch Zach Rattray White come down the long straightaway here. There's so much, you got to keep your momentum up. Well, in these cars in general, you have to keep your momentum up, but you really do, at this track especially. It's one of those kind of flowing tracks and you get that one little, as you call it, the northern point there where there's a few tight curves, but other than that, most of it is just like that right there. Run it right out to the edge of the track and keep it going.
Indeed, so I think a lot of these drivers will keep it on the limits. I think that's where you'll have to be for the majority of this one. So we'll now see heading in towards that left-hander before going into the right of the carousel. Zach Rattray White will continue to push on forward as we have Big Dog Babson, who has already received some big support in the chat from Stolen Teapot. I hope you find your home very soon, buddy. But Babson does go to the top with Marin in P2, so it's American from Canadian, and then Lim will go to P2 in these very early stages of qualifying. But it does seem like these drivers are pretty well spaced out. Drivers will take the time to just sit in the pit lane to gather their thoughts before eventually taking to the racetrack. Already seeing a couple of purples out there for now. Pablo Lenda had a purple sector in the middle. We'll see Nathan Maroney sitting in purple for the last sector. Gianni Lutsu with a double purple in the first and second sector, so we'll have to see how he goes.
Straight to
Nathan
the top.
Maroney goes to the top, and Lutsu goes straight over there for a 125.209, straight to the pits as well. So
that's
he
what
seems pretty happy.
No,
with
that's
his
what
lap.
they do. I figured that out last week. We kind of talked about that. I was in production only last week, so nobody on the broadcast could hear me talk about it. What they're doing is they run one hot lap and then they pit, and they come back out and run another warm-up lap and one more hot lap. And I don't know why they're doing that. If it's to change tires to get colder tires, or what the reason is that they're doing that, but that's what they do. Him and Zach Ratchway White both did it last week, and they both have done it this week as well. I'm not 100% sure on why they're doing that, but it's obviously either to cool the car off, cool the tires off, something.
You're right, I think there, Jim. I think you definitely nearly hit the nail on the head there. I think it's down to Gianni Lutsu and Zach Ratchway White. They're pretty much two of the biggest kind of drivers on here that with the biggest iRacing. Zach Ratchway White, double champion in the 2 seasons, so he's pretty much the only champion on the grid. So of course he will know all the kind of little his fine little tweaks to make this lap go absolutely and fly down in towards turn number 1. We just carry on with one of the cars. I believe that's the number 19, Christian Flag. They're going to P4. And we'll look at that kind of top 2 because that's looking pretty competitive again there. Zach Ratchway White and Gianni Lutsu in practice managing 125.9 is the only 2 drivers to do that. So they will be definitely looking to see if they can potentially just put themselves a little bit higher. But yeah, you're seeing already some decent times being inputted there. A lot of drivers in the 126s all the way down to Zach Carr in 13th place. He's just behind Sean Kopinski in P12. But I do kind of wonder if this is the Foster effect, in all honesty, after some I'm sure there's been some clips going out somewhere, and a couple of murmurings
Maybe
around
TGR
look, nature.
If I thought I could come race with an IndyCar driver, and I saw it somewhere on the internet that was what was going on, I'd show up to go race with an IndyCar driver. I mean,
I guess he's taken his number 45 Rahul Lanigan and just dashed off out of there. I even wonder if he's maybe just in the Discord server. I'm not in there myself, but I do kind of wonder if he just might be one and done. But Zach Ratchway White to the top there, 126.151. 2 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. And it does seem like the track looks pretty empty.
We don't have many. We don't have many people left that could set a pole lap. I don't think. Sully Khan would be one that could get close for sure. Interesting though. Zach and Gianni both had 125.9s in practice. Neither one of them were able to get back into the 125s for qualifying.
I guess that could be down to potentially, track changes. Sometimes the track does get a little bit warmer. It does get a little bit colder. And of course, they've had 40 minutes to complete that, timed lap. Yes, they may still be in the rhythm. However, this time they'd be given, 10, well, realistically, less than 10, because I think the most amount you can do is about 3 laps.
Well,
in all honesty.
They also could have had draft. I didn't think about that till just now. If they were running around out, you know what I mean? Like they could have had toe off somebody to get that fast lap, in practice. Where you don't have that in qualifying. There's no chance to pick up a toe here in qualifying.
Definitely right in that one, because toe can be pretty powerful in these Formula V. We saw that kind of go down the main straight at last time around. Sully Khan goes to 4th place, so he puts himself onto the 2nd row alongside the Australian Nathan Moroney. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea, Nathan Moroney there in 3rd, and Archer McMillan there in 20th, both Australian drivers, because of course they got the white stars. Zach Rattray White, the stars are not quite as visible. They're also red, so they are from New Zealand. Don't get them mixed up, otherwise you're going to be in a bit of trouble between 2 different countries.
Yes, one is a Kiwi and the others are not.
One is Kiwi, one is not. I think Aussies would be the best kind of suited word for that one, but that seems to be qualifying done and dusted here.
Yeah,
No
like
times out at the moment. Doesn't seem like a lot of drivers out there at the moment to go and set a lap. I think they're all finished up, and the checker flag will now fly, and that will signify the end of qualifying. But of course, there's no one out there to complete a lap. So we'll then go into our 30-minute race. And of course, the grid order does look like this. Zach Rattray White for the Eclipse Sim Sports team will be on pole position ahead of Gianni Lutzu and Nathan Moroney. So Khan will be in P4 with Panova Leder and Alan Degassis, with Christian Flagg in P7 on his return ahead of Big Dog Babson in P8. Chris Lim will be in P9 ahead of Rodrigo Tostes and then Adrian Borowski, with Sean Kapinski starting on 12th place spot. Heading further down, 13th is Zen Carr ahead of Alex Bradley, with Mark Schweenig and Matthias Marr in the Canadian. Andrew James, the Brit, will start in 17th with Michael Thiessen and Rob White. Jason Archer McMillan, the Australian, will start 20th alongside Scott Brooks and Ken Pooling on the 11th row of the grid, with the 12th row being Tomas Kalic and Blake Babson in at 24th. Then we'll find, moving further down, Daniel Taylor, the Indonesian, starting 25th with Ali Jana Abdullah in P26 ahead of Josh Cruz and then Rich Matthews. And on the 15th row of the grid, Dero Sartori and Kirk Stanley. Rounding out the grid, it is 4 Americans there at the back of the field. But how far can they get forward? You see the grid aligned with Formula V cars, and it's going to be a fantastic sight to see. So I'm going to probably keep ranting just in case we get absolutely jump scared by the 5 red lights. But
here we go.
Yeah, just seeing Gianni Lutzu is loading into the server. We should be going green very, very soon. All the 5 lights are ahead of the drivers. Clutch is in, build the revs, watch for the lights. We go racing here at Summit Point. Decent start there from Gianni Lutzu, and Zach Rattray White had to now tuck in for pole position in towards 2nd place here alongside, I think that the orange and blue car, it seemed like they head their way onto turn number 1. How dare do you let a break late here? They head their way through turn number 1, just slowly crawling through, hoping not to get involved in any form of contact. We'll probably see 2 wide out of the corners. In fact, we do. And then I think looks like Zach Rattray White has dropped down to 3rd. A couple of puffs of smoke as the brakes now get applied. My word, that was a driver there picking up a little bit of grass. And then they'll head on their way through and on towards the chute. They head through the right-hander. Go Gianni Lutzu, the Australian, will now try something almost going through wide in towards the fast right-hander. And again, a little bit of contact. Someone going a little bit airborne. Hopefully, they got all 4 wheels back on the racetrack and are able to gather their way through the corner. I think a couple of drivers have also had a bit of a moment there with the rear end, but it seems like for now they're just trying to build up the momentum. And already you've seen Zach Rattray White on that inside line. They head on their way past the S's they go, and heading through that underneath the bridge and onto Wool Paddock Bend. Rattray White will be on the inside of Nathan Moroney, and Moroney will not want to give that up. The 2 Australians my apologies. The Australian and the New Zealander battling away. They head their way down the main straight to start lap 2. A couple of changes all throughout the field. Brooks up to 23rd there. Christian Flagg has passed Sully Khan as they guide their way on towards turn number 1. So a big apology there to Zach Rattray White. I literally just spoke about it, what, not even 5 minutes ago, and already I'm tripping
The commentator's
myself.
cursed. You commentator cursed yourself there.
That is very true. A very new one. Commentary cursing the commentator. Never heard of that. That's how rare it is these days. Anyway, this league battle is looking absolutely spicy. Nathan Maroney not giving this one up. He knows he's fully within chances here. He's in arm's length reach of Zach Rattree-White, who overtook him almost a lap ago here. Battle's still continuing all the way further down. We look at the kind of side angle onto all that fast right-hander of the S's to continue to pushing their way through. A couple of drivers, I think, having a bit of a smoky action here, rubbing tyres, it seems like. And we've got Michael Thiessen there right at the back here. It starts to get very, very scrappy with all these Formula Vs. They're still staying within line here, but it's just about managing your race.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, these guys back here in the back are probably racing harder than the guys up front. You know, they're battling for everything here because as the field starts to split apart, it's a lot harder to pass people. So this is a great opportunity to get some overtakes done. As you can see, there are plenty of moves being made through this field.
Oh, indeed. A couple of drivers still wanted to try and make their way through again. That top three battle looking pretty close. And then you go back to Sully Khan, fighting away with Christian Flagg, Alan Degassis, and Leder, who's really trying to push on forward. A couple of pickups of gravel there on the right-hand side of the drivers. But you're just seeing them still trying to maneuver their way through. And I think that was Degassis trying to find an overtake here on Sully Khan. He's got past Christian Flagg, which could prove pretty pivotal in this one. We'll have to see if any of them are able to just move on forward. I think they're trying to also work as a bit of a team here because that gap is starting to open up between Khan and Maroney, and they're going to just hope that, you know, those front two are battling. But when you have moments like this where Degassis is trying to get past Sully Khan, and he does successfully do that, now we're just seeing Sully Khan being a little bit of a cork in the bottle here because Flagg's trying to get past, so is Leder. That is going to be needed if they especially want to try and challenge for a podium place. Sully Khan, I'm not entirely sure if he has damage, or I think that might just be the slingshot there from Degassis and looks like Flagg here on towards turn number one. And look at the pack behind. That's absolutely incredible. Borowski in the lead of that one, the Polish driver leading from Lim, from Kapinski, from Babson, from Tostes, from Carr, from James, from Marin. There's so many nations all around this one in this type pack, and you see that Zen Carr really fighting away with Marin, and it's starting to get a little bit close for comfort here. You're really risking stuff here in the early stages, and we're going to be seeing three wide in the background there. Looks like we do, but again, a driver backing out there. I think that was that might have been right. The Canadian driver. Oh, that's going to be contact. So close there for Andrew James, and it was indeed. I think that may have been also Michael Thiessen in the back there. We look back here to Canadian Matthias Marin. They head their way on towards the S's section and on towards Paddock Bend, where, you know, you could be able to set up a move for that long straight. So it's just about trying to open up the corner as much as you possibly can, and then just trying to find a way through. Not the big roll in the background. Who was that? That might have been Lim, and it is indeed Lim, the driver with the Brunei flag. I don't know how accurate it is. I think the internet connections aren't the best over in the small country of Brunei, but this was Chris Lim. A little bit of a slow-mo replay, but we'll speed up now and on toward the right hand. He tried that outside. He's in the grass already. Oh, it might be a bit of netco. He's losing the rear. Whoa! Big moment there.
Wow.
So Lim
it wasn't
out with
Lim.
Another driver.
It wasn't Lim that flipped.
Sorry, no, you're right.
I think it was.
It was not.
Was it Cruz? Let's see.
No,
not Cruz. This is another incident. Oh, this is something else. I thought this was involved in that.
Josh Cruz.
That was a rough
having
one.
Having a big old moment. You're right there.
Yeah,
Jim.
Apparently he's not done either. Was that Kapinski that They got airborne. Yeah. It was. Oh, he's in the Hornet car too. That Hornet started flying all right.
Kapinski through the right-hander. Yeah, I don't think he could really react. He was always committed to that kind of outside corner. And a big flip there from Sean Kapinski. Yeah, he's... luckily, this is the virtual world because you'd really have to be kind of sat there thinking, is the driver okay? But, of course, we know this is kind of the sim world.
In these cars, if you flipped like that, you probably would not be okay. You know, these are not high-speed machines, and so they're not built to Formula One standards for safety or anything. You know, that would have been quite a lick in one of these cars for sure.
Oh, for sure, and I think that it's been it's interesting seeing one of those because I think it's able you know you're allowed to see those kind of incidents in sim. It's a bit.
I love
more
it.
Kind of.
I mean, if I'm being honest, you know, I love it. I mean, I love that. I love the fact that, like in NASCAR on iRacing, you can race back to the caution flag like they used to do old school. You know, because you're not in danger of hurting someone. It's really cool. I mean, that's. I mean, let's be realistic. We all show up for good racing, passing, and a few crashes along the way. That's what we come to watch.
Yeah, we do like to see a bit of crashing now and again, but hopefully. But you don't want it to be kind of going into any more than just an accident, saying, "Okay, it's my fault," moving on. Because I'm sure there is a reason why I do sometimes call it iRaging.
Well, yeah, no, not that. I mean, that's a different animal completely. I just like to see some good hard racing, and sometimes they bump tires like that, and you get somebody gets launched like that or something, you know. And like I said, it's all safe. Nobody's going to get hurt. Look at this. Are they going to go 3 wide here? Oh, what is this move?
Someone's off in the background.
Oh, sure is. Oh, who's that? What's that?
Might have been
Abdullah.
Thomas Khaled on the exit here, 2x2.
Oh, that's not going to work. They both went for the same hole. They both went for the same hole at the same time. That was actually.
They both went for the same.
They took a little dive right up at both of them right at the same time. Went for that big gap down the middle there. All right, let's see what's going on back here.
There's your lesson, kids. There's your lesson, kids. Two doesn't go into one.
It does not. Well, you come out with a half a car if you do. That's the extent of my American math right there for you. That was it.
Anyway, back to the racing. We're a third into this race as well, out of the carousel in toward the S section, and you're still seeing some of the big old battles here. Ken Pooling right at the heart of this fight. We'll focus the camera on him as it looks like Bradley gets past the German of Schwienig and then on toward the exit. We go! More contact! See you later. Off the screen you go. Ken Pooling and looks like Mark Schwienig are going to be racing alongside a friendship.
Oh, so still piling in there. Hold on, let's see what all happened there.
But another driver. Yeah, Schwienig's retired from this one. Kalig is in the pit lane. So let me take you through what happened here. This is Dario Sartori.
This is not what I wanted. I wanted this one.
Might be a separate accident. I'm not entirely sure.
There was already some bumping there.
Oh. I think that was Schwienig. Schwienig just tried to go for a move, and he didn't even see that Ken Pooling was there on the right-hand side.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was Ken Pooling was in the spot. I mean, Sweeney was trying to go around that other car and was unaware that that Pooling was there. That's really unfortunate for Pooling. All right, let's get back up here. See, everything's kind of, these two are kind of starting to pull themselves away from everyone else. As we see a lap car there coming up. No, I guess not. Maroney's right there still, so it's still a three-way battle up there. These three are definitely starting to separate. Yeah, I know, right? I wonder who that lap car is. Is that?
That's the Hornet.
Was that the Hornet? Yeah. Who's that?
I believe it's the.
Yeah, that's definitely the Hornet. Yeah. I've run that Hornet livery before. I like that Hornet livery.
I love it. Sorry, that might have been Sean Kapinski potentially as well. I think I'm getting a couple of them
Yeah, I'm
potentially
horrible with
confused.
that. Yeah, well, it is Kapinski. Yes, that's correct. In the Hornet right there um, with his Wonder Bread driving suit on there for all of you Talladega Night fans. Well, I have to say, for a car that flipped like 6 times, he's doing pretty well. All right, let's go back up here to these leaders. They're still stuck together. We got a lot of battles. I'm just trying to see if we've got anything with some passing going on. We've got probably 3 or 4 sets of battles going on. Let's draw back here and see this one for a second.
This is Daniel Taylor up against Arthur McMillan, the Australian, up against, I believe, the Indonesian in this little tussle here. So we'll have to see. Both from Oceania. I wonder how will this battle kind of commence again. It looks like Daniel Taylor is looking to really try and get into the mirrors there of the Australian driver. And it does seem like we are now going to go on towards Paddock Bend.
I'll tell you what, McMillan did not use the whole track there, and you can see it. Taylor got a better run out of there because of that. Now, he did use the whole track there. It was almost like he was running a bit of a defensive line coming out of that previous turn. And that can sure get you on these long straightaways. As here comes Taylor now, going to swing it outside. Oh, he overshot it.
Oh, Daniel Taylor looks like he's got past the Australian.
Yeah, he made that one.
That up to 17th.
Jump up here. We got a nice 3-way here. There's one of my favorite names in all of sim racing there, Alex Boo Bear Bradley.
I think it's an inside joke because, of course, everyone in the Grand V chat is very, very close with each other. So I think there's kind of some inside jokes being put in the iRacing names there, it seems. So every time...
Well, he's accepted it because if you look on his car... Oh, yeah, look, he's got Boo Bear right there on his bonnet right there. Let me see where I can. Oh, I know where the camera will get a good shot of that. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, see, it says Boo Bear right there on the hood of on the bonnet of his car. It's so funny, man. Being American and commentating with all you British and European guys, I say something like bonnet now in a NASCAR race, and everybody's like, what?
He's going to go for a double move here, in fact. Double take here. And will he be able to get past both of them? It does seem like he will do. Both on these here, both on right. And up the inside he'll go and slice his way up. And through he'll go, accelerate out of the corner.
Right on camera pulling off a double move. There you go. That's a way to maximize your TV time right there.
Yeah, not too bad.
No, that's good stuff.
I do like some championship where they're able to get a little bit creative. Kind of reminds me of the Enduro KA series we have here in the UK. It's a club racing championship, so it doesn't get a lot of revenue. A very, very cheap championship, but yeah, they do like to get a little bit creative with a couple of their team names, their team liveries as well. I think we have there's something like the Dustbin and something trophy where basically the marshals at the circuit basically get to vote who has the best livery during that race weekend, and I think they do get given like a little bit of a small trophy at the end of the meeting. So I think that may be something to kind of add into this one. We've had a couple of maneuvers.
Yeah, well, McMillan got
the front of the field.
McMillan got back by Taylor after that, where he ran it wide, and Taylor put that move on him. But now here comes Taylor again. They're going back and forth. But I'm going to jump ahead real quick. Sorry, folks. We've got a 3-way battle here for the lead, and as you see, Maroney just got by Zach Rattray White, and they got it going on up here.
They do indeed. And Gianni Lutzu, who was pretty much battling very tough with Nathan Maroney, because they were pretty much a dead even going down that main straight on towards turn number 1. So we now look on board here with Zach Rattray White, of course double champion in the Grand V Series. He'll now try and push on here, see if he can potentially get past Nathan Maroney. But yeah, we're over halfway into this race as well. So I think for both these guys, they'll really be looking for those open opportunities. I think we look in towards Paddock Bend. A little bit of grass there was Nathan Maroney. I would have thought the rear may have wanted to go around there at one point, but Zach Rattray White is so good on those exits. It's, you know, great to see, and he'll pull over to that right-hand side, almost making contact because Maroney's trying to get past Gianni Lipsu, and then Rattray White had decided, you know what, I don't need to get involved with this. I have, what, 12 minutes left of this one, and down in towards the first corner. I think that driver is still there down to turn 1. That had issues about the 10th minute mark. But again, these drivers will continue to push on, and Zach Rattray White just thinking, I've got nowhere to go here other than to dice up my way up the inside there of Maroney. But
it's
again,
very interesting, man.
To stick a wheel in there.
Maroney jumped out there, looked like he was going to complete that pass, and then all of a sudden, it's like he hit a brick wall. He must have slipped the tire and had to lift a little bit or something, because it looked like he was going to get the pass done coming out of the draft, and then all of a sudden he just like stopped, or at least stopped progressing anyway.
I think that may have been down to the toe.
Maybe. I was wondering that, but I still thought he was going to get it done. But
because the momentum can go so far.
Oh yeah, it does indeed. Let's go back here real quick and see what's going on with these guys. This is its own little three-way battle with not too far back behind our leaders.
Continuing on through, and
keep an eye on that lead battle though, real quick.
Indeed, we're having to keep an eye on a lot of these battles.
A lot of battles
throughout the way. You know, we've got, you know, that top three, and then Sully Khan trying to open up the corner. Almost got Christian Flagg involved in his little business. So I think Flagg is also trying to find a way through. So this is very, very similar. You're seeing kind of the advantages between each driver, and they're just such small margins. They head their way towards Wagon Bend.
It's like the same thing happened to Sully Khan, though, you know. It's like he pulled out there. He took that corner wide. It was intentional, obviously. He didn't just overshoot there. And he went nowhere once he turned that corner. It's like he got no run off the corner at all. And now he's done falling back in the clutches of Broski and Leader.
This battle would continue to heat up. And Parvendir, Leader, still sitting there in 8th place. Of course, did get overtaken by Borowski going in towards the sharp left-hander of just before the carousel. Again, he will just try and go through Paddock Bend. And we approach the 2/3 distance here again. Gianni Lutsu now starting to feel pressure here because Zach Rattray White has managed to find his way through. Lutsu will just search around that outside, see if he can find any extra grip using the rumble strip on that outside line. And I wonder if that's going to maybe lose him a little bit of tense, but no, it seems like it's done the opposite because he's now gaining onto the back here. And Zach Rattray White don't have a go in towards Wagon Bend. And Christian Flagg was also looking for a potential go. Or that might be in a couple of back markers. I think that was Schweenig and Kapinski having their own little tussle for 23rd and 24th. Lutsu getting in the mirrors there of the reigning champion. But where do you make this move?
Yeah, I wish we had picture-in-picture right now so we could show two of these battles at once because there's some good battles going on around here. Yeah, I don't know, man. At this point, I think it's going to come down who can slingshot on the last corner, coming out of the last corner for the last time. I really do think it could come down to that because I think every one of these guys up front has demonstrated they can take the lead here.
They definitely can do, but I want to kind of make a little bit of an argument to your point of the toe. I think, hang on, three wide down the main straight on towards turn number 1. That momentum will, of course, come from the exit of the carousel, and this momentum that Maroney has got, I think it's just resulted in him losing a bit of time there. He's slipped on towards the inside of turn 1 because he had such a shallow line. He didn't want to hit Lutzu as well, and Rattray White just stuck there. He was almost boxed, but in towards Wagon Bend. He's got to try and take something here. It looks like Maroney's wide as well. Kick up of the dust, and this battle continues to heat up like a microwave or an oven or whatever you kind of want to say on that part. But again, this top 3 is just unbelievable. But let's have a look back to Flag, Khan, Borowski, Degassis and Lidar, because this is absolutely on pivotal. It's brilliant stuff. Again, that squeeze there from what seemed to be Degassis. It seemed like Degassis was being squeezed there by Borowski, and then again you have Lidar just in behind, so they go through the right hander of the S's and on towards Paddock Bend. These battles are amazing because that just shows like the slipstream effect as well. How crucial it is to have it, and 6 cars in this battle. What amazing stuff.
Yes, it's great. And it's not like this is way back in the pack either. This is that second group. You got Maroney up here with hanging with the top 3, and then this is your next pack right here. And we got six cars here, and then you got looks like another little 3 or 4 car pack back behind them.
So we'll have to see how that all kind of works out, because remember, we are now down to 6 minutes left of this race. Maroney and Zach Rattray White will do battle here. Lutzu will be holding out inside, now outside lines. He'll sweep in and cut off Nathan Maroney's attack. Zach Rattray White is looking to be boxed in as well. So that's so the Kiwi trying to see if he can figure his way out on his fellow continent drivers. I will mention that I think Gianni Lutzu is also Australian, but for some reason it might be as a joke or something. But he's using the flag of the Vatican City. I don't know how many people have noticed that. So I promise you that I'd be amazed if someone actually declared that yes, I am from the Vatican City, and I do race on iRacing. I'd be absolutely amazed. But again, we'll see 3 wide down this front stretch. And I think Gianni Lutzu will be the one losing out on this one, because they can see he's just falling behind. He'll open up the corner and fall down to 3rd, and Zach Rattray White continuing to take that place.
See, he braked early, though, to prioritize the exit, and he's going to get the run here. Look, he's coming back right now.
This is absolute stuff.
Yeah, Zach Rattray White did exactly the same thing a couple of laps ago when they did the same move on him, and he did the same thing, but then he got boxed in behind Maroney and couldn't take advantage of his run, and that's kind of the same thing that just happened to Gianni right there as well.
Yeah, it does look like Gianni Lutzu is taking his time, heading in towards the carousel. It's that really tight corner that could maybe mess up a little bit, or a few runs as well, especially if you're trying to get an exit on toward the S's. But I think when the adrenaline is quite high, that exit through the carousel on toward the S's will just be the ever more crucial for sure.
Yeah, this is so insane. This is some great racing, man.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go again. Every time they come through here. Every time.
Take us through it.
Oh, Lutzu coming up the inside here. Let's see. I think it's going to be Lutzu's corner this time. I think Gianni's going to take this one, and Zach's going to be stuck out there on that outside again, I believe. And here comes Maroney way down on the inside. Gianni kind of cuts him off. That's going to free Zach to kind of roll on through there. He didn't get pinched in this time. Let's see. That may work out to his advantage right here.
Maroney on that outside line again,
So good.
kicking up a little bit of gravel as well. So I wonder how much gravel will be laying on the outskirts of the track as well. Again, I thought Maroney was on that inside curb and seemed like he was almost magnetized to the rear end or the rear corner of Zach Rattray White. So I wondered if there would be a little bit of contact, because the last thing we need is to end in contact. Because bearing in mind these drivers are probably going to be interviewed after the race. The last thing we need is a couple of interesting choices of language. I'm going to put in that one. A couple of.
These guys all have so much respect for each other, though, and they know that if something does happen, it's just, well, for the most part, it's all good hard racing. These guys race together enough, and they know how clean each other is. And here we go again. Back to, oh no, he didn't go 3 wide this time. He decided against it. Oh, Gianni's going to try to turn it down underneath. I think he might have a run right here. Lutzu might have a run.
Lutzu on that outside line. He's going to be able to sweep in here. Zach Rattray right on that inside line.
Zach gave him a lot of room there. He really did. Look at this, would you? People don't realize this. You're talking about some of the fastest drivers in the world in these cars, and they are passing each other every lap, running these cars right on the edge. That is so hard to do.
It definitely is. So you're really going to have to work between you, and also bear in mind that we're going to be going on to onto the final lap for this one, because we now head down the long back stretch on towards Paddock Bend, and we will have a minute probably left on the clock by the time they get over that timing line. So this will now signify the final lap of the race, and the adrenaline and the toughness of this just goes for an extra level. Looks to go for the outside.
Here we go. Oh, he's going to try to send it up to. Oh no, he's not. Okay, I thought he was. I mean, if there was a little bit more hold there, I think he would have sent it. Oh, now he's going to try to do the break early and come back, but Zach cut him off. Zach cut that line off on him this time. They're all running the same strategy here, so they all know how to cut the other one off to stop that from working. It's going to be interesting to see what choice they look. I'm going to jump back here real quick. This is getting crazy right here as well.
This is absolutely getting wild here. Look at Borowski right on the back there, and it looks like he's been blocked as well. So it looks like the gas is going to try and find a way through, but he can't. So they're going to go 2 wide in towards this left-hander, and by the time we get into the chute, I wonder if any moves are going to be maybe more on the desperate side. Look around the outside goes Borowski, trying to now find an exit, but he can't because gas is sitting there on the inside line. He's going to now potentially run out of room, but look how close the top end is getting. Zach Rattray White is taking the lead of the checkered flag. Will be out this time around. Gianni looks on that outside line. Is there going to be contact? They're just squeezing each other.
Oh, there is contact. There goes Maroney.
Maroney's gone. Gianni looks into the line, wins here in Summit Point.
Oh my gosh.
And what a superb finish. But third place, who will it be? It's Christian Flag by a tenth of a second ahead of Sully Khan. DeGassis, Borowski, Leder. Unbelievable finish. We knew it was going to be close.
Let's go back here and watch this whole sequence. So this is that whole sequence right here.
This is Zach Rattray White on towards the right hand. That was him getting past Gianni Lutzu. Now he's going to be the one in focus here, because look at him. He's now ahead. Round the outside goes Lutzu. He has so much confidence in the car, and he has to come back on the circuit, but he keeps in squeeze. There's the contact, and then Maroney just gets completely caught out, sent off into the wilderness, and unfortunately his name went down as a DNF. I don't know how much he could react either. So yeah, a really, really unfortunate moment there for Nathan Maroney, but what an amazing finish here for the two Oceanian drivers, the two Australians. I believe.
That
But,
was
my
that was
word,
something else, wasn't it? Good stuff.
it was
My
indeed.
goodness.
It
All
was
right, let's see.
indeed.
I guess we still got some drivers out on the track here. Let's see.
Chris Lim, uh, Sean Kapinski, Mark Schweenix, Ali
Maroney
Abdullah.
Maroney getting a meatball there that's brutal, man. I mean,
Oh,
not necessarily of his own making, and then to end up with a meatball, that's going to be. He's already down in a ridiculously low place because of that, and then he's going to lose, I think, 40 seconds more because of the black flag, I believe. So in the end results, this could be really brutal. Let's go take a look at the results and see.
here are your results then. Gianni Lutsu taking the win there by a tenth of a second. I think just over a tenth and a half there. Ahead of Zach Rattray White. Christian Flag finishes in second for the Apollo Racing team. Look at that gap there. Again, another 10th to Sully Khan. Alan Degas is finishing there in fifth ahead of Adrian Borowski. Parvinder Leda in P7. Then Zen Carr comes home in P ahead of Matthias Marin. And Rodrigo Tostes, the Brazilian, who will finish home in P10. Then we find Big Dog Babson, who finishes home in 11. So a really, really solid finish for him. Followed by Rob White and Michael Thiessen, with Alex Bradley and Andrew James, with Jason Archer McMillan finishing home there in 16th. Scott Brooks and Rich Matthews in 17th and 18th. And then we find 19th Kirk Stanley and Daniel Taylor rounding out that top 20 ahead of Chris Lim. And then Nathan Maroney, of course, involved in that last lap accident. He'll be just ahead of Sean Kapinski, Mark Schweenig, Ali Jana Abdullah. Of course, who was involved in a couple of incidents as well, but managed to get going. Dario Satori, Tomas Kalic got involved in an early incident, retired. So did Ken Pulley, so did Blake Babson. And Josh Cruz, I think barely got going. I think before his race came to an unfortunate end. It seemed like we now believe we do have a couple of interviews. It seemed like, so let me try and see if I can.
You want to go backwards or forwards?
Get this. It looks like we have Christian Flag. Let's have a conversation with Christian Flag. We'll wait for him to get into server. So let me see if I can. I think I can just about drag him in.
Yeah, you should be able to. Let's see. Do you have
Christian? You're live on Apex Racing TV. A fantastic finish for you. How did that kind of go from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I started pretty far back, so I had a hard time getting up to like the middle-ish top pack positions. And by the time I got to the front of the second pack, the front three guys were gone. And I actually said during the race, oh, one of them is bound to crash. And then, yeah, I kind of just lucked into that third place there, stayed at the front of the second pack, and one of them spun. So,
how was the racing kind of in that second pack? Because a lot of our kind of the majority of our focus was with that front pack, but we're also kind of focusing on your pack as well. How fair was the racing? Because it could be very tough on a tight circuit like Summit Point.
it was a bit frustrating. I had one guy in our pack who just couldn't seem to understand that when he was defending like crazy, it was slowing us all down. So that was a bit frustrating, but it was good working with most of them. At the end, we got a much larger pack because of that unnecessary defending, but in the end, I still stayed up front, worked with Sully a lot. He was great to race with, so that was fun.
And of course, taking that podium, yes, it was at the expense of Nathan Maroney, but there must be a smile on your face there.
Oh yeah, it's the second time it's happened this season where Gianni, Zach, and Nathan are up front, and then one of them spins, and I luck into a podium. So.
Yeah. So of course, how are you also feeling it, looking ahead to the future around the championship? Of course, I'm only a fill-in, so I don't quite know the full calendar.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. For the past couple of seasons, I've been busy with IRL racing, but winter's coming around, so I'm definitely going to try to make every weekend and see what I can do.
Well, Christian, before you go, is there anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, just shout out Sully Khan. Absolute great teammate.
Well, thank you very much for kind of getting yourself out there, and we will see you for the next round. Take care. So that was Christian Flag, third place, and let's have a chat with Zach Rattray White. If I can again try and get him into the interview waiting room from into the comms box. No, it doesn't seem like he like it's going this time around.
Let's see here. There you go.
Zach, you're live on Apex Racing TV. A fantastic race for you. Second place on the road. Is that the result you wanted?
No, of course not. I mean, good points, but I mean, I didn't expect him to just waltz around the outside of me in the last corner there, but I don't know. We'll take that on board for next time.
You looked pretty quick all throughout the race. You know, how did you maintain the pace, transferring it from the practice session into qualifying, into the race?
Oh, I think I got pretty lucky with practice. I got a mean as toe, and then same with quali. I think Johnny cooked his lap, so I think he was by far the quickest out of everyone. Again, it's just a case of the draft keeping people who are much slower in making it a factor, and yeah, it's a bit too powerful for this car, but I mean, it might be realistic, who knows, but yeah, it can be annoying sometimes when you feel like you have a pace advantage and you can't do anything with it.
So I got a question for you. It seemed like all three of you in that lead group were kind of doing the same move almost every lap. Y'all would end up going 3 wide, and you know, and then the person that was the third car there would brake early. I know you did it a couple times, and then cut the corner tight and try to get a better run off the corner to make up for their speed that they were carrying into the corner. It seemed like y'all were doing that over and over again, and then I noticed a couple times you started defending that, like when Maroney tried to do it once or twice there, you went ahead and swung on out to that outside line coming out of 1 to shut him down going into 2 there. And it seemed like that's what Gianni, you know, like he was. It just seemed like that was the line that you guys were running through there lap after lap, and it was just swapping positions every lap. You'd go first, he'd go first.
Seems like he's gone, unfortunately.
Did we lose him?
We did lose him.
Yeah.
Should we bring him back in, or bring Johnny in?
No, let's bring him back in. We need to congratulate him. Did we lose you there? Zach?
You got me there. I still can't hear anything. I don't know if it's my internet or whatever the go is. Can't hear anything.
Nothing at all right now? You're not hearing anything? Well, I guess we'll just congratulate him then, and
I still don't have anything.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week. Well, congratulations on his second place finish. I don't know. I'm assuming that must be probably his internet. Mine seems to be running pretty good. Let's go ahead and bring in Gianni.
Gianni, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I was just talking to Zach right there. I think he's having a couple of issues there, so I'm not too sure what's going on. Typical Discord. I feel like even like all my coaching lessons I've been doing this week, I've been having the exact same issue with Discord. So I don't know what's going on, but clearly, I don't know. Clearly, you run into the same issue here. But anyway.
Oh, damn Discord.
Yeah, I know. It does it at the best of times, doesn't it?
It does.
So,
anyway.
So talk to us about that last corner move you made there.
Yeah. Look, it was a pretty interesting race today, to be honest with you. I think we all know Summit Point as a track, especially in these cars, as being one that is very, very prone for slipstream. And I think, once again, that did kind of show today, but I think luckily we were able to get a nice breakaway at the beginning. And I think that is what the beneficiary of having a little bit of a pace advantage is that, first 1, 2, 3 laps, you can, really make a mark on the race. And luckily we were able to do so at the beginning. And then, it was just kind of holding position. And then, we kind of
getting a bit scrappy at the last few laps there and trying to position ourselves well. And yeah, luckily was able to, and yeah, had a nice time hanging around the outside of the last corner, and yeah, took over another win. So couldn't be more happy than that.
Adam?
It does seem like you did have the pace. So kind of tell us how you transferred that pace from practice into qualifying into the race.
Look, I think it very much comes down to, like, I've done a lot of work at this track, and I think a lot of us drivers in here have. And I think it very much does come down to a case of, yeah, you know what you're doing, you know your lines, you know your limits, and I think it very much always allows you to be, yeah, just confident in what you're doing. So I think for me, you know, I obviously do a lot of work here for my clients, for my business to drive performance. So yeah, when I do turn up for the races on the weekends here, I'm in a pretty good shape. So yeah, I'm quite confident where I need to be, where I need to place the car, and how to maintain that pace through a race. So yeah, I think it's always just a nice testament to yeah, all the effort that goes on over the sort of the period of time you're on the sim, and you always kind of do remember it no matter how many times you come here. So no, it was really good.
So we do have one other question for you. We noticed that you changed your country of residence from Australia to Vatican City, huh?
Yep.
You living in the Vatican City now, are you?
No, not quite. I do. Well, my family's residency is actually Italian, so yeah, obviously, yeah, Vatican City is obviously a place that's not exactly kind of in the sort of main part of Italy, but obviously it's yeah, a big part of the country. So just as something a little bit different, I think just a little bit of a sort of payment to obviously my family's background a little bit in a way. So yeah, just a little bit of something funny, something a little bit different. But yeah, in a way, it is kind of true because obviously, yeah, I am Italian. So yeah, I don't know. We just put it all there, something different.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though. But anyway, congratulations again tonight, and
Thank you.
go ahead and give you shout outs, and you can briefly also hit on your business as well, since you are one of the primary sponsors of the series. So talk about that a little bit as well.
Yep. Yeah, no, thank you. So yeah, my sponsor of obviously the series Lutz to Drive Performance. So my my iRacing driver coaching business that I've been running for, yeah, I think a bit over 3 years now. A few drivers in the race from today that come through me, and I think the biggest thing is just all about trying to help everybody go faster. I think the biggest thing we always find is, well, for myself, I always find is a lot of people tend to kind of hit a brick wall and don't really know where to kind of go forward with it. So my job is to help you find that next sort of little piece. And working through telemetry, looking through replays, talking about racecraft, structure, all that sort of stuff. That's what I'm all about. And if you want to get in touch or book a lesson, obviously you can search up www.lutzudriveperformance.com or contact me on Discord at just Gianni Lutzu, or you can find me on any socials by Gianni Lutzu as well. So obviously big thanks to Sully and Matthias for obviously allowing me to sponsor the series. Always very privileged for their support. Obviously big thank you to you guys for all your efforts of putting a nice stream on, and nice to take 3 from 3 wins for the series so far. I think can't be happier than that. So yeah, let's see if we can keep up the good work.
It's good to have you here for all the races. Last year
Thank you.
Last season you missed several, and it's good to have you here. But I'm gonna put you on the spot right now, since you're working with several drivers. That's in this series. Tell us who has surprised you of your students. Like, who have you been coaching that you've really seen a big jump in their performance? Like, that's really just it's just sinking in, and something special's happening. So put you on the spot and have you call somebody out there for doing well.
Yeah, no, of course. No, I think it has to be Sully Khan. I think for sure, he's someone I've been working with for a really, really long time now. I think from definitely like early part of this year, we've been working together, and we've made a bit of a step up from the Formula V to the Porsche Cup over the months. But to see where we first started on our first lesson, I think we were about 3 or 4 seconds nearly a difference from each other at certain tracks, to now, you know, him being able to finish in the top 5 consistently every single week is such a great sort of testament to all the work we have done. And I think it's a really, really nice example of, you know, someone that's come through and has found a lot of success. And I think, you know, you can see his confidence in his driving, you can see his ability to, you know, apply it all to everything he's doing. And, you know, it makes him, I think, really enjoy sort of actually going racing as well. Because at the end of the day, we all do sim racing to, you know, win. You know, we all want to win, we all want to do well. So obviously for anyone coming through, that's my goal, to sort of make you have fun and make you be able to be competitive as well. So I think, yeah, definitely Sully Khan. I think I'd probably put him as, yeah, someone who's definitely improved quite a lot. But I think it's very much a case of, yeah, and just a bit of testament to how much work we have done together. It's really starting to show. So yeah, really well done to Sully, and I think really well done to everyone else that obviously has worked with me through, that was obviously racing today. And yeah, you know, keep working hard, keep doing the background work, and yeah, keep getting better week by week.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate it, and congratulations again. And I'm have no doubt we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Jim. Cheers, guys. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And there goes Gianni Lotsu. Always a pleasure to talk to the Australian, also resident Italian as well.
Resident, Vatican City resident.
Vatican City resident, of course. The one of very few. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Jim, for, you know, commentating alongside me. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you alongside me in the box. Whilst we have another usual commentator goes off and celebrates their birthday. For everyone else, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in 7 days for the next round of the TGR Grand V. And we'll see you in 7 days' time. Till then, take care. Night.